in the last class what we discussed means according to the Stephen law in Japan, so the energy, radiation of energy is directly proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature of the body. This is the Stephen Boltzmann law. So if we are removing this proportionality constant, the sigma into T power 4, the sigma into T power 4, this is the sigma, will name it as the Stephen law, Stephen constant, we will name it as the Stephen constant. And also we measured that value, the value of the sigma also we measured, that value is equal to sigma is equal to experimentally measured value 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per meter square per Kelvin power minus 4. This is the Kelvin power 4. This is the value of the value. No. Here this value, sigma value I am taking. So sigma value I am taking. Sigma is equal to Stephen constant. Stephen Boltzmann constant, that is the Stephen constant value.
5.67 to 10 to the power of minus 2 and minus.
Okay, no. Please correct that one. Stephen constant. Please correct that one. So this is the value we are having. So from this one, how can you derive the Newton law of cooling means? We already taken one.
Power 4 mundu flash లేదు.
Hello?
Meter square K power 4 का sir.
Meter power 10 to the power of 4 you are asking?
W power అక్కడ meter square K power 4 का sir.
Yes, K power 4, it is in the denominator, na? That's why K power plus 4 I written. Okay, let me take this one. Sigma is equal to E by T power 4. E is equal to energy. Energy value we need to know. What is the energy means? Energy may be joules. Divided by T power means Kelvin power, Kelvin whole to the power of 4. We will take it as a Kelvin per joule per Kelvin. We will take it as a joule per Kelvin also. We are having the formula. Now you may joule can be written as the we can take the joule can be written as the watts per meter square is nothing but joule only. Watts per meter square is the joule only. How can it will be means we will bring this one. So watt is nothing but power. Power is equal to energy per work divided by unit area of cross section in unit time. Otherwise work by time. This is the value. So if you go into the work means work is nothing but energy only. Energy by time. Energy by time means joule per second. Joule per second is there. Joule per second here. Joule is not coming. Joule per Kelvin power 4. It should come in joule per Kelvin power 4. Is it correct? Sorry. I am really sorry. Here, what is this one? This E is what is the E here? E is what is the rate of emission energy. The E is here. Don't confuse here. E is equal to the rate of emitting energy. Rate of emitting energy. How can we rate the rate of emitting energy? Rate of emitting energy is nothing but so the energy per rate. So energy per rate means the rate of emitting energy means energy per rate of in unit time in unit area of cross section. This E is nothing but Q by A into T, the rate of emitting energy, that is the value of E value. So can I substitute now? Q by A into T is equal to sigma into T power 4. So this is the E value. So after that you can easily find out sigma is equal to Q by A into T divided by divided by T power 4. Now you can get everything. So joule, Q is equal to joules, second means T means second, A means meter square, divided by T means K power Kelvin power 4. So everything you will get. Joule per second is nothing but watts, that is equal to watts per meter square, Kelvin power 4. Hello, same na?
Yes, sir.
So that is the formula, that is the units for the Stephen Boltzmann constant value or Stephen constant value. So now the today goal is to derive the Newton law of cooling formula, and also we need to derive the what is the relation, how can we get the value of the highest temperature value. So already we know that one, if the two bodies are having, let's assume this is the body which is having at the temperature of T2 with the highest temperature, because of I am taking T2 as per the textbook, they are taking the highest temperature of the body is at T2. So let's assume here is the body, another body is there, is the T1. So in this condition I am taking T2 is greater than to the T1. As per numbers, so they taken, I don't know, but don't confuse, only this topic only they are taken like this. So here is the most highest temperature of the body, that heat will radiate from the highest temperature of the body from to lowest temperature of the body. Then if these type of two bodies are here, means the energy, the how much rate of energy will radiate. Here the rate of energy radiant, the same formula is equal to sigma into highest temperature minus highest temperature square 10 to the power of 4 minus lowest temperature temperature power whole to the power of 4. We know this formula. I already used this formula in last concept also. So then this formula how can we write, means sigma into T2 square minus T1 square, a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. Now I am writing T2 square plus T1 square. Because of which formula we are using? We are using a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. This is the formula I am using. So I am assuming that this value is nothing but T2 square whole square minus T1 square whole square. Like that I am assuming, like that we are assuming. After that we are converting in terms of a plus b into a minus b. Let's assume is the a, let's assume is the b.
So small and sir.
Hello?
Temperature difference.
Yes sir. In this condition temperature difference must be small. So that's why we are using this one. So
T1 minus T2.
Yes, I told you in the same condition only. In the textbook they are taken that T2 is the highest temperature of the body. They are taking the at T2 temperature, lowest temperature of the body, it is in the T1 temperature. So this is the Newton law of cooling. Newton's law of cooling. This is the we are deriving the formula. Please don't confuse. In the last topic I try to explain with the help of the T1 is greater than to the T2. So don't use that one. If you are using this one, you cannot correlate with your textbook data and your notebook data. That's why I am following the as per textbook I am following. So now if just I changed the positions, I am assuming that T1 is in the previous concept I taken that T1 is the highest temperature of the body, T2 is the lowest temperature of the body, but now I am assuming T2 is the highest temperature of the body, T1 is the lowest temperature of the body. That is only change. So I am following as per the textbook only. That is the I am following now. Now if we look on this one, so once again here is the a square minus b square is there, a square minus b square is there. Again we can rewrite this one sigma into T2 square minus T2 minus T1 into T2 plus T1 into T2 square plus T1 square. This is the value. Now I am using the product rule with the distributive law. So just I am multiplying these total terms as per the distributive law. So sigma into T2 minus T1 is equal into, so T2 is multiplying first of all this term, after that this term, so that is equal to T2 cubed plus T1 into T2 into T1 square plus T2 again I am distributing this term, these two, so T1 into T2 square plus T1 cube. This is the formula we are arrived. So but the Newton law of cooling can be applicable only for the if the two bodies are having with a very small temperature difference. This is the very important Newton's law of cooling can be applicable only for the temperature difference is very small. Temperature difference is very small. So what they are telling means T1 highest temperature of the body T1 and lowest temperature of the body T1, they are having very near values, so then only the Newton law of cooling can be applicable. So that means you are taking the one of the body here, that is the T2 temperature. So this body is having surrounded by the another body. Let me take this atmosphere like that. So the surrounding temperature is the T1. So the temperature T1 and T2, there are very near values, so there are very small difference is there. So then only this law can be applicable. What will happen in this case means so the T1 is a near value to the T2, then what will happen means see T2 square must be equal to the T2 cubed is must be equal to the T1 cubed, and the similar manner T2 into T1 square is nearly equal to the T1 cubed, otherwise or T1 cubed, T2 cubed or T1 cubed, and one more formula I am writing, T1 into T2 square is nearly equal to the T2 cubed or T1 cubed. What I am telling, that means or T1 cubed they will equal to the T2 cubed, or T1 into T2 square they are equal into the T2 cube. That's why, so if you substitute, if you use these conditions means this is the T1 cubed or T2 cube, this is the T1 cubed or T2 cube, this is the T1 cubed or T2 cube, this is also T1 cubed or T2 cube, but our observation is made from the reference of the hot body. That means I am taking each and every term is the T2 cubed only, T2 cubed plus T2 cubed plus T2 cubed plus T2 cubed, because of they are very near values. That's why I am taking this one. So now if we substitute these values, how many T2 cubes are there? 4 T2 cubes are there. So this is equal to sigma into T2 minus T1 into 4 T2 cubes are available. So this is the hot body temperature. So the hot body temperature into these total values, these are the hot body temperature and total values. And they consider as a small constant. Let me take it as the K. K is the one of the constant. So the K is nothing but it is the sigma into 4 into T2 cubed value. So this is the small constant value. They are assumed like that. So that is equal to T2 minus T1. So I already told you, while the subtraction we should not take the 0, because of there are very near only. This is the subtraction value will give the sum of the small value. So I am taking the 100 minus 99 is equal to, you will get the 1 value. So otherwise 100 plus 0.02 minus 100 value means you will get the value 0.002 value will get. So we cannot eliminate this value, because of this value will affect on the multiplication of the total value. That's why we cannot eliminate this value. That's why they kept direct like that also. Now what does it means? If the temperature, the rate of heat energy transferring from the hot body to cold body, E is equal to what we get, K into T2 minus T1. So some of the textbooks they are using T1 is equal to theta 1 and T2 is equal to theta 2. So they are using temperature in the theta terms. Because of the upcoming derivations, they will come the T also, time terms will come. That's why they are using like that. So I am rewriting this same equation, E is equal to K into theta 2 minus theta 1. Just I substituted instead of temperature with theta terms I am represented. So what is meant by this E? E is nothing but it is a rate of energy transfer. So E is nothing but a rate of energy transfer. So rate of energy transfer means so where the energy is transferring from hot body to cold body. Hot body to cold body it is transferring. So what is the formula for rate of energy transfer from hot body to cold body? Just we started the same method, same formula only. E is nothing but, so it may be Q divided by A into T. This is the formula for how much amount of heat energy is transferring from hot body to cold body. This is the formula for that one. So in small interval of time, now I am assuming that in a small interval of time, so this energy is transferring with dq time. Dq energy is transferring with how much small interval of time this energy is transferring means dt time. Dt time this energy is transferring through unit area of cross section. That means to take the condition. What is the condition we are taking? So in dt time, so assume in dt time, otherwise I will rewrite this one. Take the condition. What condition we are taking? So take the condition, assume in dt time the amount of heat energy is transferring. How much amount of heat energy transferring means dq energy is transferring through unit area of cross section. So that means E can be written as A, I substituted as the 1. So dq Q is substituted as the dq and T is substituted as dt. Then E is substituted. E can be written as E is equal to dq by dt. We can write it that one. But one thing you need to take care about this one. Due to energy transferring from the hot body, the hot body will reduce, hot body will lose its energy. Then it will be this value will be lost by the hot body. So hot body will lose this energy and will be lost by the hot body. So and the cold body will gain the same amount of energy by absorbing this energy. So to represent this one, what is the basic formula I written? E is equal to, where we stopped, K into T2 minus T1 we written. T2 minus T1 we written. So but what we need to write E is nothing but dq by dt. K into T2 minus T1. But this value can be written if the body is gaining, this formula is okay. So gaining means this formula is representing for the cold body. If the body everything we are giving with the reference of the hot body means the same amount of energy will be lost by the hot body. That means we need to represent the negative sign because of it is losing by the hot body. Negative sign dq by dt is equal to K into theta 2 minus theta 1. So what is the condition here? Here negative sign can indicate. What is indicating? indicate the hot body will lose. The hot body is losing losing its energy. That is the negative sign indication here. So this body is represent for the cold body. This amount of heat energy is gained by the cold body. This energy is losing by the hot body. So the same amount of heat energy will be transferred to the cold body. Now I am taking that if the hot body is having, I am going to represent the same Newton law of cooling expression to mentioning the hot body specific heat capacity. Now let's assume if the hot body is having with the specific heat capacity S with mass is equal to m, at the temperature is equal to delta theta 2 temperature is there. So we already know that one. What is the temperature difference between the surrounding means? So if the temperature difference is equal to, this is the here is the temperature, the surrounding temperature is equal to T1. What is the temperature difference means? Here is the delta T is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1, because of highest temperature is the theta 2, lowest temperature is the theta 1. In this condition only for this topic they are taken like this. I don't know why they are taken like this. So theta 2 greater than to the theta 1. So, but with these, it is a change in temperature. If the change in temperature is this much, how much heat energy can be transferred from the hot body to surrounding or cold body means we already know that with the help of the specific heat capacity. So, the amount of heat energy transferred in the 1 unit time. So amount of heat energy is transferred in 1 unit time is equal to dq is equal to m into s into delta t, or delta t we are having the formula, but instead of we are referring here ms dt, d theta we are using because of and upcoming topic we will get the small t also. That's why we are eliminating the capital T terms without getting any confusion. Here delta T is the change in temperature, d theta also same change in temperature only. That's why just I mean it is the original formula is as per our running content we are using delta T. This is the original formula we are having, but we use this one as per our content data. So from where we have stopped means we stopped at minus dq by dd is equal to the rate of energy transferring. That means in dt time this much of energy transferred means this is the rate of energy lost by the heat body is equal to where we stopped, heat body is equal to k small k into theta 2 minus theta 1. This is the in this place we stop. But dq is equal to this much energy can transfer. So dq can I substitute this dq value in the given equation is equal to minus ms into delta t is equal to divided by already delta t is the d theta, dt is there, dt is the time, dt is equal to change in time. Now you can easily understand if you substitute delta t means you may get the confused delta t by small delta t is there. So you may get the confused what is mean by capital T, what is mean by small t. That's why I am eliminating this one. So that is k into theta 2 minus theta 1. So our goal is to find out the value of the temperature. Our goal is to value of the temperature. Now I am sending minus this side and also I am sending ms also this side. So just I am keeping delta d theta is equal to, so k divided by small k divided by ms negative sign with d theta 2 minus d theta 2 minus d theta we are having. So now what is I need to send, this is the temperature na, we should not keep this one. I am d theta also I am sending this side. So I am sending d theta this side, remaining terms are this side. Let me rewrite this one. Small correction I need to do. Our goal is to find out the final temperature. So this is the temperature terms. Here is the temperature terms is there. I am bringing all the temperature terms to one side. Remaining terms are other side. This is the temperature terms are there. So I am sending this temperature term to this side. So that is equal to remaining all terms are other side. So now you can easily say that d theta by theta 2 minus theta 1 is equal to small k divided by ms. We will get minus term also I am sending this side. This is the value. So d small dt is there, small dt. So now our goal is to find out the change in temperature. That means we need to integrate this one. So I am integrate this one as per respect of the I am integrating on both sides. Integrate on both sides. So if we integrate this one, integral of 1 divided by theta 2 minus theta 1, change in temperature, into temperature variable. So minus of k divided by ms into d theta is there. So d theta is there. So you already well familiar one of the formula, integral of 1 by x into dx is equal to, it will come the log x. It will come the log x. One more formula, integral of nothing is there, 1 into d theta is equal to otherwise dx is equal to, you will get the x value. 1 is nothing but x power 1. This is nothing but integral of x power 0 into dx is equal to x power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1, we will get that is the value. So here we are performing the integration with respect to the temperature. So this is the temperature terms, that is this is the total temperature only. Let's assume it is the d theta into d theta is the same only. So if we are performing the temperature integration, log of this total value we will get. Now this is the formulas only. This is one useful for your running topic. Now I am using, then what will happen? So that will happen log of what is the value? Temperature, change in temperature, theta 2 minus theta 1. But if you look on this side, means kms, there is nothing is there in that small t terms. So everything will comes out. If nothing is there, we will assume that is the 1 into dx is equal to x is there, but here 1 into this can be written as one more step I am writing, only right side one more step, k in divided by ms integral of nothing is there means 1 into dt. So dt means 1 into integral of 1 into dx is equal to x. Integral of 1 into dt means what we will get? Hello. Integral of 1 into dx is equal to x. In the similar manner, integral of 1 into dt means t will get. So that integration value is equal to, right side integration value is equal to, so minus k divided by ms into small t you will get. But it is not a particular integration, so there is no any limits, means we need to put one constant term. You will get the in your mathematics, why you are getting the plus c, one constant terms we are getting, because of the integration there is no particular limits from limit a to b we are not doing. So it is not a particular integration, and that's why we need to keep the plus c. So you will get it in your mathematics also. See these total terms, we are assuming that one of the constant, it may be capital K I am using, log of theta 2 minus theta 1 is equal to minus of capital K into t plus c. We are getting like this. This is the value. So already we have a mathematical formula. If log means nothing is there, means it is in the base e. So log of x into base e is equal to some a, means how can you return the x is equal to e power a we will get. So that is if you take the anti-log, means log of x base e is equal to a, means how can you write the x is equal to e power x, exponential power of the what is the value is available in the right side. In the similar manner, is nothing is there, means this value is in the base e we are taking. So now how can you read this one? It is nothing but theta 2 minus theta 1 is equal to, so then theta 2 minus theta 1 is equal to e power of minus of capital K t plus c. Hello, that is only na? Hello.
Yes sir.
Okay, that is only na. Now what will happen? Now you already know this one of the formula. What is the formula? Means e power a plus b, means e power a into e power b. You can write like this. Okay, now e power a into e power b we can write. So similarly, what we can write? E power minus capital K t into e power capital C. So C is the one constant term. C is the one constant term, means e power C also will become one constant term. So it is another constant term. No? That's why I am taking is the C dash into e power minus kt. E power minus kt. This is the term for the e power minus kt. So then what will happen? Then theta 2 is equal to what I am sending theta 1 this side, theta 1 plus e power minus kt. So will you please look on this one, e power some value, negative term of some value means e power minus kt, negative term of some value means it is telling that its value is exponentially is the decreasing value. This value is exponentially will decreasing value. So this value will show that decreasing value will show that. So with help of this one, the temperature of the hot body at a given time t, you can easily find out this with help of this one. So the temperature of the hot body theta 2 is equal to where at a given time t. So after some time we are measuring this one. So then we can easily find out theta 2 is equal to e power minus kt. With help of this one, you can easily find out the value of the hot body temperature after some time. So this explanation will tells about the what is the Newton law of cooling, what is the temperature of the body, hot body after some time. We need to remember this one. That is the very important for the another one. Now we are going to the another important concept. What is mean the absolute scale? We are going to the another important content, absolute scale. Please stay in. Let me write the absolute scale. So this A is a very far distance. Yes. It is the absolute scale. So what is mean by absolute scale means we already very familiar with it is nothing but Kelvin scale only. So how the Kelvin scale is constructed? What is the need of to construct the Kelvin scale means there are the two important points are there. Why the liquids are using in the temperature measurements? So the temperature measurements, the thermometer will consisting of one of the liquids. So why the temperature is when the surrounding temperature will heat the liquid means the liquid will expand in the thermometer. With help of this expand, so how much length expansion of the length means we can easily measure the value of the temperature surrounding which is contact with the thermometer. That is the basic principle we are using to measure the temperature of the surrounding. So in the thermometer, so in the liquid thermometer, so there are the small drawback is there. So if you use the liquid, we are using the mercury one, alcohol also. They may use alcohol. So alcohol they may use means these liquids they are having the different expansion, linear coefficient of expansion, volume coefficient of expansion. They don't have in the constant values. That's why if the thermometers are constructed with help of the liquids means the different thermometers, so they are showing the different readings at the same temperature of the surroundings. Are you getting or not? What is meant here means the different liquids, different liquids can have the different linear coefficient of expansion, linear coefficient of expansion, volume coefficient of expansion. So what is the product of this one means if the different liquids are used to measure the temperature of the surrounding means they will show the small little bit variation of the temperature as the original value of the surroundings. But means then what is showing means they can show with small variation. So we are using alcohol is the hello. One of the student is maybe the month ago. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So, see what is the problem? They can show that with a small variation means due to that they are having a different variation of the linear coefficient or volume coefficient of expansion. That means the original value cannot be measured. What is the original value of the surroundings? That means the original value get the sum of the error value can be measured. Some of the error will get observed in the measured value. To overcome this point, the gas thermometers, they are very suitable to find out the gas thermometers are very suitable to find out the temperature of the surroundings in absolute very accurate values. That's why gas thermometers are very useful to measure the accurate value, to measure the accurate value. So what is the advantages in the gas thermometers means at the constant value, that means at the constant volume at low pressure they will show the linear coefficient of the expansion for all type of gases are the same. Let me write that points. At constant volume, at one more point is there, at small pressure, at low pressure. So the linear expansion or volume expansion of the gases are the same for all type of gases. The linear or volume coefficient of expansion is same for all type of gases. So the linear coefficient of expansion is the independent of the nature of the gas. If I am taking carbon dioxide is the gas at low pressure, P will showing the low means at low pressure, then the expansion is the same with the temperature. So that means these gas thermometers you can use any type of gas. You can use carbon dioxide or H2O or anything. You can use H2 or chlorine gas. That is choice is yours. That means they will show the same expansion at low pressure. Then the error of the reading, which are measuring with different type of gases also, the thermometer will show the same type of reading. There is no any errors in the different thermometer. That's why they will use as the gas thermometers. Gas thermometer is the more comfortable thermometer to get the accurate values. Then we are going to another one more advantage is there. The gas thermometers are the more sensitive for the volume expansion. So gases are more sensitive for the temperature. So if the temperature is rises, the gases will they can expand. So that means we can easily measure the temperature of the surroundings with the help of the gas thermometers. So how can we measure now in this construction of the gas thermometer, we will use at constant volume. So we already well familiar with PV is equal to nRT is the formula. So in this one PV is directly proportional to the temperature of the gas. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So directly proportional, just I am used the same formula. I remove this NR, just I put the proportional. If this gas, if V is equal to constant, volume is constant, P is directly proportional to T only. So this is at constant volume, constant volume. So this is the basic principle behind the construction of the gas thermometers. So what will happen? So if the pressure of the gas, if the temperature of the gas is increased, then the similar manner the pressure will also be increased. Are you getting or not? So the same formula I written. One more time I am explaining in terms of words only. What does it mean? This meaning, this equation meaning that this equation is telling that at constant value, if we write the temperature of the gas, then the same manner, the similar linear manner, the pressure of the gas will be increases. Are you getting or not? Same na, the same equation is telling that only na. That means if the constant temperature, if you draw a graph in between the constant temperature, constant volume, if I am drawing the one of the graph, like this, what happened? Yes. Like this, if we draw like this, if I am taking the temperature in the x-axis and the pressure in the y-axis, they are in the linear, they are in the linear proportional. So if I am temperature is increases, so at the initial temperature, I am starting from 0 degrees Celsius. At initial temperature, the gas is at some value. So this the pressure is the gas having some of the pressure value. So pre-value pressure is having. I am increasing the temperature will rises, pressure will rises. So I move some value. So pressure is also move some value. If I am increasing the temperature, so pressure will rises. I am increasing the temperature, pressure will move. It will get like a straight line. It may be this graph may be for any one of the gas. So I am taking gas A. This equation is these values are drawn with help of the one of the gas. So what is happening here? So the temperature and the pressure they are in the linear proportional. If the temperature rises, the pressure also gas is rising. So that means if the change in pressure is the measurement of the temperature of the gas. So are you getting or not? I am going to the reverse manner. If the change in pressure, that means if you know the pressure, if we know the pressure in the gas, at a given temperature, with constant volume, we can find temperature of the gas. Is it correct only, no? So what I am telling, that means it is telling that if we know the pressure of the gas, then it is nothing but it is directly tells that what is the temperature of the gas. See, this is if we are knowing this pressure, this value. So what is the temperature of the gas? We directly go to the y-axis value, then we tells the temperature of the gas. What does it means? Means if I am taking the gas in a I need to take a gas to measure the temperature, to measure the pressure. Now let's assume construct one of the gas thermometer. How it look like? See, if this is the gas bulb will be gas bulb will be constructed in the gas thermometer. So it is the gas thermometer. It will consisting of one of the gas bulb. In this one, I am taking the one of the gas. Now this gas bulb will be connected to this will be gas bulb will be connected. This gas bulb must be at a fixed volume. This volume of this total gas must be at a fixed volume. They won't allow to increase the volume of this gas. They will having the certain setup of that one. So how can we set up that one? We will discuss later. So this bulb is allowing to affect the surrounding temperature. That means here is the temperature is there. This is the temperature is coming. This will allow to affect the temperature. While the temperature is increasing this gas, the pressure of the gas will increases. Hello, I am getting or not? As per previous formula, P is directly proportional to temperature. Temperature is increasing. Pressure must be increases of the gas. So the pressure will increases. If you measure what is the pressure inside this gas bulb means, we can say that what is the temperature of the surrounding. Are you getting or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting or not? Let me see once again. What is our goal is we are using one of the gas thermometer to measure the measure the temperature of the surrounding. That is our goal. So what we are doing, we are allowing to affect the temperature of the surrounding on the gas which is contained in a small bulb, like a gas bulb we are taking. So this gas bulb is affected by the temperature. Then these initially the gas is at 0 degrees Celsius, let's assume. So that surrounding temperature, let's assume 30 degrees Celsius. After some time, the gas will get the more temperature, 30 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is rises, definitely the pressure of the gas will be increases. If we know the pressure, then we can say that what is the temperature of the surrounding. That is our that is the basic principle behind the gas thermometer. So what they will do means we need to measure the pressure of the gas now. So how can you find the pressure of any system or any matter? What is the instrument we need to use? There are two instruments are there. Do you know which instrument we are going to use? If you want to find absolute pressure of this any system or any gas, we need to use one of the instrument. That instrument name is the manometer. Manometer we will use. So manometer, how it look like? So it will look like a U-shaped tube. So they will construct one U-shaped tube. So they will construct like this. This is the U-shaped tube they will construct. So the manometer will tell that what is the pressure inside the system. They will tell, the manometer will directly tell that. But one thing you need to take care about here. So here is the reservoir will be. To connect this manometer, they may be having the one of the reservoir. This reservoir can be adjustable. So that means for each and every time in this system, the volume of the gas must be kept on the constant. So that means how it look like means, let me explain. So this is the manometer U shape is there. Let's assume here is the manometer U shape is there. After this point, this gas is connected to the gas bulb. So this is the small capillary tube. After this capillary tube, this is connected when the big gas bulb is there. This is the big gas bulb is there. So this line will connected with the one of the reservoir. So here is the reservoir means it will consisting of one big bowl, and also if we can use in this one any liquid we are using. So generally this gas thermometer they will use to liquid to measure the pressure of this system or gas means they will use the mercury. So they will use inside this tube means mercury. So what they will do means to fix this volume at constant point means they can move the reservoir in up and down. They will move the reservoir in up and down. So if the temperature is rises, means gas will expand. While the gas will expand means it will push this point. They will move somewhat down. So to bring this same point or to the same point means we need to move this reservoir some distance. We are moving this reservoir some of the distance. While we are moving this reservoir, we kept the reservoir up to here. Then this small portion, this distance will tell the temperature. This is the height of the points. Height of these 2 points will tell. If we know the height of these two means what is the temperature inside the glass bubble means, we can easily say that inside the pressure is nothing but rho GH only. This is we already discussed in the manometer principle. So rho GH, rho is nothing but density of the liquid which is used in the manometer. G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity of the body. H is nothing but what is the liquid level height difference between the two sides of the manometer. Are you getting or not? Hello? So I need to use this constant level, not this level up to here. This is the height of the liquid. So that means this gas thermometer, with help of the gas thermometer, we can easily measure the temperature of the surrounding. Now what will happen if you do the experiment with help of the different types of gas? Now I am performing the experiment with the help of the different type of gases. So at the 0 degree Celsius, the pressure of the one of the gas is here. At the 0 degree centigrade, the pressure of the gas is one of the gas is here. At the 0 degree centigrade, the pressure of the one of the gas is here. If I am increasing the temperature like that, I am increasing the temperature of the gas, it will look like the straight line you will get. If I am increasing the one more gas, it look like this. If I am increasing one more gas, it look like this. But one thing is there, if you extend the same lines into the negative side also, I am extending this line in the negative side, I am extending the line in the negative side, I am extending the negative line in the negative side in back side also, they will meet at a point. That point will shows the very least value which can be attained by the gas at 0 pressure. So this is, what is this one? This line is telling that pressure, this line is telling that pressure, temperature. So it is nothing but pressure. So this line will tells that it is the very minimum, least minimum value in the scale at where it is having at 0 pressure. So this line is nothing. If you are coming down means the pressure will decrease us. We are meeting up to this point. It is the 0 pressure point. So we are starting with 0 degree centigrade. All gases are having certain pressure. But at a certain point, at a certain temperature values, all gases are showing at a particular same 0 pressure point. So that pressure is observed that in experimentally 270 minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. So that means what is the basic advantage in this scale? So if we take any type of gas means the 0 pressure point is attained at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius itself. Are you getting or not? Hello, are you getting or not? So that means with help of the gas measurements. Yes, with help of the gas thermometer, one of the scale is constructed. At the lowest pressure point is the minus 273.15 degrees centigrade. That scale is named as the absolute scale. Let me write that one. One of the scale is constructed. One of the mu scale is constructed. Mu scale is constructed by taking minimum temperature value of the gas is minus 273.15 Kelvin. That temperature is named as the 0 Kelvin. This is only 0 Kelvin. So where it is having, this value is nothing but 0 pressure point of the any gas. If you are moving the any gas at this Kelvin means the gas will not have any pressure. Any gas does not have consisting of pressure at this Kelvin. So 0 Kelvin. That scale is named as the absolute scale. But one thing is a very advantage in this absolute scale means the scale, the boiling point of water in the scale value is equal to the boiling point of water. The boiling point of water in the absolute scale value is equal to, we are taking that one 373.15 Kelvin, and the melting point of water is equal to the melting point of water is equal to in the absolute scale is equal to 273.15 Kelvin. But they have divided this scale as the 100 parts. What is the? It is the upper limit point. It is the lower limit point is there. So these points are divided in the 100 parts, as like in the Celsius scale also. Then the Celsius scale and absolute scale, they are both are similar only, but only one difference is there. I am taking the Celsius scale in this side, I am taking the Kelvin scale is this side. So the melting point of the water is equal to 0 degree Celsius, but the melting point of water, it is the degree Celsius scale, so it is the Kelvin scale. So now I am taking the 0 degrees of lower limiting point of water is there, but in the Kelvin scale it is having the 273 Kelvin. Now if we go to the upper limiting point of the water is equal to 100 degrees Celsius, the upper limiting point of the Kelvin scale is equal to 373.15 Kelvin. But if you look on this one, how many parts is there in the, say, degree Celsius is equal to 100 parts only. How many parts is there in the Kelvin scale? Also 100 parts only. But with help of this one, we can simply say that, say, the 0 is equal to 273. So 100 is equal to 373 means we can derive the one small relation. That relation is nothing but temperature in the Kelvin scale is equal to temperature in the degree Celsius scale plus 273.15 value. I did not written here 15. Okay, 15 Kelvin value. 15 value. You can easily say that what is the 0 degree Celsius is nothing but 273.15. What about 100 degree Celsius means 100 plus 273.15, that is equal to 373.15 Kelvin values. If we know the degree Celsius value, we can easily find out this. But what is the advantage of this absolute scale? Absolute scale is advantage is nothing but it will tell that the lowest limiting point of any gas is 0 Kelvin. It is telling that the lowest limiting point of any type of gas is 0 Kelvin. It is nothing but minus 273.15 Kelvin. This is the value we are taking. So how they are achieved this one? Due to the drawback of the liquid thermometers. Why we are moved towards the Kelvin scale means due to the drawback of the degree Celsius scale, because of they are using with help of the several liquids they are using. That's why if we go to the gases means gases scale also they are providing that 0 very least temperature value on the y-axis negative scale temperature scale, that value is showing that minus 273.15 Kelvin. That's the very important in this one. This is about the absolute scale. What does it mean by absolute scale? What is the advantage of the absolute scale? How they are constructed the absolute scale? What is the drawback of the liquids? That's right. This is our goal. Let me close here. Tomorrow we will look on the problems. I am requesting you all, please solve the problem as